So previously I discussed and went into detail the changes that came into effect on July 1st regarding residential real estate, and how if a home buyer would like a realtor to represent them when purchasing a property, that home buyer and their realtor of choice must enter into a buyer's agency agreement prior to us as realtors being allowed to show any home buyers a property. Now, today I want to discuss why this is happening, why these new rule changes are now in effect, and how they came about. So before I do that though, just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so yet, I'd be honored if you went ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you are made aware when I put these videos out. I'm going to have some great content coming out over the next few months about all the changes in residential real estate, and of course the going ons and happenings in Northwest Indiana real estate as well. And of course, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, please comment below. If you don't feel like commenting, reach out directly. I'm always available to discuss what's going on in real estate, and especially when we have these kind of big changes happening here. I want to make sure that you, as the consumer, as the buyer, as the home seller, are up to date and know what's going on and are prepared. So, again, starting July 1st, just to recap, home buyers and realtors, if a home buyer chooses to work with a realtor when purchasing a property, we must enter into a buyer agency agreement with that home buyer before we can even show a property. That buyer agency agreement, again, must have a start and an end date. That's negotiable. It could be as long or as short as you like. It must detail the agency agreement, what we're going to do for you when representing you as a home buyer, and it must discuss our compensation and disclose how we are paid, and that compensation is negotiable. There is no set fee, but you will be made aware of, again, how that compensation is paid to your buyer's agent and where that's going to be coming from in the contract. So with that said, why did this happen? Why did this come about? Well, it all started with a lawsuit years ago when a home seller was disappointed when he got to closing to find out that the commission he negotiated with his listing agent was split with the buyer's cooperating agent who brought a home buyer to purchase this gentleman's property. He felt that he shouldn't have to pay the buyer's side commission. Now, I'm not going to get into details of this whole lawsuit. You can go back, you can Google it, check it out. It's easily findable on the internet there. So, but that was the gist of it. Now, this lawsuit actually died fairly quickly in the court systems. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to sit here and give legal advice. And more importantly, don't roast me if I get a legal term wrong here, please. So, but for lack of a better word, the case died in the court system. I don't think it was dismissed. It just kind of, nobody wanted to take it up. Until about a year or two ago when the Department of Justice said, you know what, this case does have some merit, and for whatever reason, they wanted to go ahead and reopen it. And the attorneys that took it up turned it into a class action suit and started to get more and more, solicit more and more home sellers who were upset as well, and decided that they would sue not only the National Association of Realtors, but some of the larger brokerages nationwide. In the court system, it ended up going to court, and in the court system, the jury sided with the plaintiffs, and some of these larger brokerages and the National Association of Realtors lost and ended up settling the case in the long run. As a result, this buyer agency agreement was one of the remedies of that settlement, that we now have to enter into this buyer agency agreement with home buyers to, again, lack of a better word, become more transparent with fees and who we're representing in the transaction. So again, I'm not going to dissect the lawsuit here. I have my own opinions. If you want to have a cup of coffee one day, I'd be glad to sit down and talk to you about it. But in the long run, it's going to be, let me rephrase that. In the short term, we're going to have some hiccups. It's going to be an inconvenience to a lot of home buyers out there who are used to doing things a certain way, who are picking up a phone or going online and hitting a button to schedule a home tour. And it's going to be a change, especially for those of you out there, or if you're a seasoned home buyer who's purchased many homes out there in your life, this will be quite a bit of a change. Now, for the most consumers out there, this is going to be a good thing in my opinion, because it's it is going to bring more transparency to the real estate transaction. And you, as the home buyer, you can sit there and you could call realtors up and discuss, hey, I'm looking to purchase a property. What are you going to do for me when you're representing me? And you could shop around. I think in the past, so often we got hooked as home buyers on, clicking a button and scheduling a showing, or just picking up the phone and calling a sign. And then when you met that realtor at that house, maybe you felt a little obligated to continue working with them. Where in this situation, hey, you can go ahead and say, okay, realtor, I'm looking to buy a house. What is your plan of attack, plan of action? So again, I think it's a little more professional on our part and throughout the whole transaction, and being transparent and full upfront of what we're going to do and how we're going to discuss and work on getting you the property of your choice, and setting expectations. I like that phrase there. Setting expectations from both sides up front is going to be a good thing moving forward. So again, it's going to take a little time to adjust, but again, this wasn't a realtor change. This was mandated down by the courts to us that as part of the settlement, we had to come up with this agreement here. So again, I think in the long term, it is going to benefit consumers. It's going to take some getting used to, but it's going to be a good thing moving forward. So if you have any questions about what's happening, why it's happening, again, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. I want to make sure that you as the consumer are crystal clear what's going on with real estate. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So thanks for watching. Keep on watching for more videos coming up on this topic and other great things happening in the Northwest Indiana real estate market. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.